In the last video, we established something that changes everything. Your thoughts are not passive. They are building your life continuously beneath your awareness, whether you direct them consciously or not. Now we take that directly into the territory where most people feel the most confused, the most stuck, the most quietly ashamed. Money, abundance, prosperity. And what I'm about to tell you is going to contradict almost everything you were taught. The question nobody asks. Here is the question that almost no one thinks to ask. Why is it that two people can be given identical resources, identical opportunities, identical starting points, and one creates abundance while the other struggles? And conversely, why do so many people who acquire large amounts of money suddenly find it gone? Lottery winners, athletes, entertainers, given more than most people will ever see, who return within years to the same financial condition they started from. The standard explanation is behavior, spending habits, financial literacy, discipline. Those things matter, but they are symptoms, they are not the cause. The cause is consciousness. The cause is the inner world. The beliefs about worthiness, about abundance, about what is possible, about what is deserved, that run so deeply most people have never examined them at a single level. Prosperity is a state of mind before it is a state of finances. Here is the truth that prosperity actually begins with. Prosperity is not primarily about how much money is in your account. It is about how you relate to abundance as a concept, as a possibility, as something that is or is not available to you. Think about your own inner conversation around money and resources. When you see someone else succeeding financially, what is your immediate internal response? Genuine joy for them, or something more contracted, something that feels like evidence that there is less available for you? When something costs more than you expected, is your automatic response anxiety, resentment, the quiet certainty that this is how things always go for you? When an unexpected expense arrives, is your first thought about how you'll handle it? Or does it trigger a deeper feeling, one that has less to do with money and more to do with a belief that life is fundamentally scarce? These responses, the ones that happen before your reasoning mind gets involved, are your prosperity consciousness. And they are shaping your financial reality more powerfully than any strategy you will ever apply. The invisible thermostat. There is a concept that explains this more clearly than almost anything else. Think of your beliefs about abundance as a thermostat. When a room gets too cold, the thermostat triggers heat. When it gets too warm, the thermostat cools it down. The temperature in the room always returns to the setting on the thermostat, regardless of what the weather is doing outside. Your inner prosperity setting works exactly the same way. If your internal thermostat is set at a certain level, a level calibrated by what you grew up seeing, what you were told was possible for people like you, what you decided about your own worth, your life will repeatedly return to that level. You can earn more, but expenses will rise to match it. You can save more, but an unexpected drain will appear. You can work harder, but a pattern of undervaluing yourself will keep the outcome within the familiar range. Until the thermostat setting changes. And the thermostat changes not through action, but through a shift in consciousness. Where scarcity thinking comes from. This is important to understand, not to blame anyone but to see clearly. Most scarcity thinking was not chosen, it was absorbed. From environments where money was a source of stress, of conflict, of fear, where phrases like, "we can't afford that," or "money doesn't grow on trees," or "people like us don't," were repeated so consistently they became foundational beliefs. From cultures and traditions that associated spiritual virtue with poverty, as though wanting more was somehow morally suspect. From personal experiences of loss, of failure, of financial collapse, from which a conclusion was drawn: I cannot trust abundance. If it comes, it will be taken. It is safer to expect less. All of these created the thermostat setting. And the setting has been running your relationship with prosperity ever since. The abundant universe. Now here is where the perspective shifts entirely. Look at nature for a moment. Not at human systems, at nature itself. A single apple tree produces thousands of apples. A single grain of wheat, planted, multiplies until it fills a field. The ocean does not ration its water. The sun does not schedule its warmth. The air does not limit its oxygen to those who have earned it. The natural world operates from a principle of extravagant, overflowing abundance. And you are part of that natural world. The scarcity you experience is not a reflection of what is actually available in this universe. It is a reflection of what your inner landscape believes is available to you. Nature gives abundantly and without limit. The limitation is always in the receiving, in the size of the vessel you bring to the well. Bring a small vessel, receive a small amount. Expand the vessel, expand the consciousness. And the same source that was always there can fill something larger. The right order of things. There is a sequence that most people have backwards. They believe, have first, then do, then be. Accumulate enough, then I can do what I want, then I'll feel the way I want to feel. But this sequence never arrives at the destination, because the feeling, the sense of abundance, of security, of worthiness, is the cause, not the effect. The sequence that actually works is the reverse. Be first. Cultivate the inner state of someone who is already abundant in spirit, in peace, in purpose, in generosity. From that state, take action that is aligned with that consciousness, and then have as the natural result of the inner and outer being in harmony. This is not passive. It is not waiting for good feelings before you work. It is working from a fundamentally different orientation, one that is open rather than contracted, expectant rather than fearful, generous rather than hoarding. The law of giving and receiving. Here is one of the most counterintuitive principles in this entire series. The flow of abundance moves in a cycle. It is not a fixed resource to be accumulated and protected. And the cycle requires both directions, giving and receiving. Most people who struggle with scarcity hoard. They tighten their grip. They hold back time, money, energy, generosity out of fear that there won't be enough. But hoarding stops the flow. Think of a river. Water flows constantly. It arrives, it moves, it gives, and as it moves on, more arrives to replace it. The river never empties because it never stops moving. Block the river, stop the flow, and what was living water becomes stagnant. Genuine giving, not from obligation, not as a transaction, but from a genuine consciousness of abundance, opens the circuit. It signals to your own deep self that there is enough, that more can come, that the source does not dry up. This is not magic. It is the psychology of consciousness operating through the physical world. What prosperity actually feels like. True prosperity is not the anxiety of accumulation. It is a quiet, steady sense that what you need is available, that your gifts have value, that your effort creates something real, that life is fundamentally for you, not against you. It includes peace, health, meaningful work, relationships of genuine depth, the freedom to give without fear. People who have significant wealth and none of those things are not prosperous. They are simply rich in one dimension and impoverished in every other. And people who have modest material means but live with genuine peace, purpose, and generosity. They know something about prosperity that many wealthy people have never accessed. The goal is not accumulation for its own sake. The goal is a life in which you have what you need to do what you are here to do, and the inner freedom to enjoy it. One shift to begin now. This week, notice every time you have a contracted thought about money, a thought of not enough, a thought of resentment towards someone who has more, a thought that closes around scarcity. Don't fight it, just notice it, name it, and then gently, honestly ask yourself, is this actually true, or is this the thermostat running its old program? You don't have to believe in abundance overnight. You just have to begin questioning the belief in scarcity. Because here's what is genuinely fascinating. The universe has never, in its entire existence, produced a shortage of energy. The only shortage, the only place where lack is real, is in human consciousness. Which means the door to abundance was never locked from the outside. It has always been accessible from within. In the next video, we take everything we've built in this series and arrive at the destination that all of it has been pointing toward. The one thing every human being is actually searching for, underneath every ambition, every relationship, every spiritual seeking, every attempt at self-improvement. And why almost no one finds it where they're looking.